Welcome everybody. Trisbrina Show.
Don't give up.
I was wondering where we were going with that. Thank you, royalty-free music. Hi everybody, come on in. Today we're talking about soul on a mission. Are you a soul on a mission? I bet you are. If you're hanging out with us, you certainly are. We've got some really cool things to dive into. It's a topic that Sabrina and I have been riffing on for years. And she gave me a really great idea the other day, and it was this soul on a mission concept that she wants me to play with, and we just want to talk to you guys about it. And you were starting to talk about a friend of ours who's sharing something. I think we could share that with everybody because that's really a beautiful give.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the soul on a mission purpose is to show up and really share, give, and love. It's part of your mission. So
and that doesn't. When you give, you also receive, right? It doesn't have to feel totally like I'm giving, therefore I don't have, right? That's a big
misconception.
Misconception,
for sure.
Right? Because karmically, the
Hang
clothes
on,
are ready in the dryer.
The laundry. 1 second, dear.
Karmically, we only give to ourselves, right? And I'm really, really experiencing more and more this whole thing. Like, I really love to teach. And the way that I know that is that I've always done it, but I saw one of my friends, she was doing a Facebook Live and she was running late, and she said, well, why don't I just go ahead and put my makeup on while I'm doing the Facebook Live? I haven't even told you this. And so I'm watching her, I'm like, ooh, put your concealer a little lower, not just up there. And so I'm like wanting to teach and share. I love to share what I know with other people, not as a way to correct them, but if I find something that's on sale somewhere, I want to share it.
She wants to tell the world.
I've always been like that. I love sharing little hacks, little shortcuts, little information that I find out.
That's what being a teacher is.
Really understanding that I could think, I'm such a nice person. I love to help those who don't know what I know. I'm such a nice person.
What a nice person.
Yeah, I love to help those who don't have what I have. And that's also false. I am a nice person.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I give you
very spiritual.
Very spiritual. That was last week's Trisbrina Show.
But what I love is the joy that I feel. I love teaching.
Starts at home.
It's all about me,
it's all
right?
about
Whatever
you.
we love to do, even if it helps others, it's because it makes us feel good.
That's a really great point.
Like, I cook breakfast for us every day, and I really love doing it. And it could be like, Sabrina, you don't have to cook your husband breakfast every day, but I really love doing it. I get joy out of doing it, and I get great joy out of him finding it delicious.
Who would say you don't have to do that for your husband? What's this? Who's been talking in your ear?
So that brings us to we have a friend. His name is Mike. His name's Mike Filsane, and he started some very successful entrepreneur. What was it? Webinar Jam.
He's part of Webinar Jam. He's part of Kartra.
He was partners with Andy Jenkins, and now he just launched a new. It's like a software
suite
that
of
we don't have to get into, but it will help, especially new people going online, to send out their emails, to have a page to give away a gift, maybe somewhere to blog, maybe somewhere to host a webinar, and to launch it is because of everything that's happening right now. He said, I'm going to give away beta version light for life to anyone who wants it. That's so cool, because most people will never grow to a point that they'll need more than that. That's just the reality. But those that do will have learned his software, and we don't want to learn anything new. Once you're in a software, you just, like, once you're AT&T or once you're Mac, you're not going back. Right?
Usually not.
So really smart for him, because then if they are successful in business, they're going to upgrade to higher levels.
Yeah.
So it's a give, but he also
you lead with a give.
Benefits from that. And we just thought that was a beautiful example of he's feeling really good about being able to share this with so many people.
Yep.
And because he's doing so much good, people might drop who they were working with to work with him because his is less expensive. So it's really smart marketing. It's a win-win.
It's abundance consciousness in action. This person is leading with generosity. And that is the best way in business, period, to get new customers, to win over people, to get a tribe, a fan base, is lead with love. And that for us is what we mean by soul on a mission. Maybe everybody doesn't see themselves as a soul on a mission, like it doesn't have to be grandiose, but I'm saying that soul, he, she who loves to serve and help, soul, right? That's our soul consciousness coming through us in whatever way that looks like, has a mission. And that mission is to feel good. You were just saying, I love cooking the meal because I feel good. And this is a really beautiful conversation.
I feel happy when you're happy. I like the gardener always tells us, like, I like what you did. He goes, I like that you like.
I like that you like. Because we feel good. We were having this conversation earlier in our Life Force Mastery Dojo, our classes, about how you must take care of yourself. We were talking about the lower, and the word lower is incorrect. That's just on a height perspective. The power center, let's call it that. In Chinese, they call it a dantian, or the Japanese call it your hara. It means the lower dantian, and then people start thinking it's a lower chakra. It's not as good as the upper chakra.
Like a ranking.
Yeah, it's a ranking system. Oh, they're really in their root chakra right now. They must be very primally oriented. And I'm like, no, that's so, God is in everything, okay? Consciousness is in all aspects. You can increase the vibration. You can increase and elevate the consciousness, but it's all included. And if you miss this part, which we call the sense of self, the relationship with self, if you don't build on that core foundation and you just want to be heart-centric and give love and share, and I'm a soul on a mission, and you don't take care of you, talk to a caretaker that's not been taking care of themselves. Talk to a busy, stressed out mom who has no time for themselves, right? Or dad or whoever. They are weak in their power center, and this gets off. Resentment shows up, feelings of shutdown show up. Victim shows up, reactivity shows up, because we must first take care of self. But that is the most spiritual thing in our book, is you now have something to give, something to share, a base, a foundation, a power that then feeds that lover that you are and love to be. So I do think that it is always, I feel good. I love giving. Someone says, oh, they're so selfless. I say, ooh, be careful. I know that's a very spiritual word. So spiritual. To be selfless.
Spiritual.
But be careful with that selfless thing. Make sure you are truly taking care of yourself, which is your soul. Mm-hmm. That's my opening statements.
Yeah. I think that every soul that has taken the time to come into a physical body that has been blessed with the human experience is on a mission.
Yeah.
And
school.
It's up to each of us if we feel that we're a soul on a mission, or if we just feel we're like soul on a mist.
Soul on a path, soul on a dirt road, soul stuck in an alleyway.
You never know. Gosh, what were we watching? What was I listening to? Oh, I was listening to one of the many things I listened to. And there were so many parents speaking about having children with autism and with disabilities, and mother after mother after mother, completely unconnected to each other, was saying the depth of the connection they felt with that child and the gift that child was to bring out the most beautiful parts of them, that they feel like they would not be complete as a soul on a mission without the experience of that child, where someone else, when they're out and about, might look and think, oh, wow, that must be really tough, right? You don't know from the outside in what's going on.
Yeah, totally. So we shared in our opening statement how to show up and shine love, if you will, shine and share, no matter what's going on the outside. And there's a whole lot of going on the outside right now. I was just speaking with a friend moments before this call. He's been living out in LA, and he told...
This isn't a call.
I was on a call.
Oh.
I was on a call. Before this going live session. I was on the call. And he was telling me about, you catch everything, don't you?
Yes.
I love that about you. So he's like, we had to get out of LA, man. It got insane, man. And I've been watching some of the news. I've been watching CNN. He's like, oh, no, you got to watch Fox too. They show a lot of stuff. And he's like, the promenade in Santa Monica, areas in Beverly Hills, just the fires, the rioting, the breakage, the destruction. It's very scary. Mm-hmm. One of our friends said, can I please come and stay with you guys? And they've left. They've absolutely left LA. They left the state to go and be safe somewhere else. And years ago, we were around a lot of riots and stuff when we were living out there. And we were like, time to go, time to leave, catalyst time. Not that there's anything wrong with the protests and the outrage. We're completely there in that awakening of what's happening. We just did a very powerful with our tribe, with you guys, many of you were there, the Quantum Healing Circle, where we gave ourselves the ability to speak our truth and what we were feeling, our emotions, to give them a place to run through us so that we're not toxic inside with anger and hatred and judgment and fear and sadness and all that grief that so many of us have been feeling. It's so important to allow those emotions to run through us, to take conscious action, whatever that is for you.
There's no right way to feel.
No.
There's no wrong way to feel.
No.
There's no requirement that you share your perspective. There's no requirement that you don't.
Yeah, march, don't march.
And my opinion is everyone should drop in and respond in the appropriate way and feel. And for me, my big question is just about me, right? As a soul on a mission, I'm seeing a story, I'm hearing information, I'm hearing a story of a story of a story, telephone game.
Yeah.
How can I love? How can I love more? What can I learn from this that I can make better choices? Where can I reflect? Have I fallen short? That this is shining a light on it? And if so, let's move the needle. But keeping it in a beautiful, loving place, and taking that stand of love and moving more towards that.
And love isn't weak. Love is powerful and strong. That's a beautiful thing about love. It shows up and serves how it's most needed in the moment if you're in alignment. That might be a punch. That might be a kiss. That's just for you to be aligned and to know what is right action for you in that moment. And so we are trying to do our part to feel everything in our own consciousness and clean that up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially those of you who understand things like Ho'oponopono, right? And feeling your emotion and then cleaning it as seeing yourself as one with everything and taking 100% responsibility for everything that you feel, and knowing that this outer world truly is a reflection of consciousness. So what can we do from our homes? Maybe we don't want to be outside, and there's a lockdown going on, by the way, right? What can you do? Not an ostrich with your head in the sand, not feeling like, who am I can't do anything, I'm just little old me. To see yourself as the light worker that you are, and you're part of a beautiful tribe here. There are beautiful tribes all over this globe that are doing a lot of powerful work right now, and they're holding the intention of light and love. And that light and that love can get into all kinds of cracks, especially where things are cracked open right now. Sometimes that's how the light gets in. Yep. You with me? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I want anyone to ever be harmed, or what we saw happen in the street. I don't even want to say it out loud what I called it, but it was so ungodly and so unjust and so wrong. And yet the light is doing its best to pour into these cracks right now. And people are I'm being woken up. How about that? I'm being woken up to choose frickin' love, unconditional love. Stop the judgment, stop the prejudice, see where they are, where they exist, even at the unconscious level that I'm not catching. Yeah. What can I do? I can do a lot from right here on this stool. I'm doing it right now with all of us. We're all doing it right now. Holding that vision of love, peace, kindness, compassion together as light workers. It's very beautiful work we're doing. So please keep cleaning yourself. We've been talking a lot about meditation lately, and this soul on a mission. You're in soul school. We're all here in soul school. We chose this time to be here. right? This is not a coincidence. This isn't like, oh shit, why is this happening now? You know, like it's happening because you picked to be here and you're part of this
Like
global
somebody
situation.
put on Facebook, 2020 was not on my vision board like this.
It wasn't on mine, you know, but maybe we don't know all the things behind the divine orchestration of what's going on, but here we are. So can you show up and share love regardless of what's happening on the outside that's not in alignment with your pretty vision board picture? And that's where it gets juicy, is to lean in with love when it's uncomfortable, when it's scary, when it's wrong, all of that heated emotion. Can you be the one, the soul on a mission? What's the mission? Choose love, always, right? Choose love over fear. Mm-hmm. Be the one who could, that if they see some injustice happening in the future, stands up and goes, hey, whoa, no, this is wrong, and like takes positive conscious action if that's appropriate. Mm-hmm. But not to turn away, not to be scared or shut down.
It takes a maturity of spirit. It takes a maturity of practice connecting, so that when you feel the urges to do, say, react, and not react, you are aware of the ones that are old programming trying to keep you safe in a false way, and those that are guiding you towards your mission. And so that's why practices like meditation and Qigong and mindfulness, you have such a skill at dropping in and knowing if you're feeling something, is this my feeling, or is it borrowed because of the intensity of that feeling around me? Do I actually even feel this? Right? So that's, to me, the maturity that is developed through living a life devoted to fine-tuning allows you to make the right choices in each and every moment, which from the outside to someone else might not, they could judge it as not the right choice or the right choice. You just said something about speaking up. That's not a right choice or a wrong choice. That would be the aligned choice for someone tapping in and feeling what is aligned for them to do. No one else's business. No one else can say if what you did or said was aligned or not, because it's yours. It's your alignment.
Get guided.
And that's why if you can be that and allow that, then the violence can go away. Mm-hmm. Because no one is saying, you have to think like me. You have to stand up. You shouldn't stand up. You should say something. You shouldn't say something. Who are you? Who are you not to? You're not really a leader if you don't take a stand. There's just so much finger pointing, and I would love to feed the energy of allowing everyone to drop into the maturity of their spiritual evolution and give everybody the time to do that and the breath to do that and the space to do that without watching all the TV and without watching all the news, and see what that aligned miracle can be. Because I think there's choices that are way past the obvious, and I think that we can change the world and change the story and create greater peace from our house in total silence, if that's what your alignment is to do. I have created incredible, crazy, miraculous, weird things with my eyes closed and the power of focused intention.
Yes, she has. Crazy stuff.
Right? And no one would ever think
amazing
that, like, you did that? Like, sitting there with your eyes closed? Mm-hmm.
You did.
And that's the power
I've witnessed
that we
it
all
multiple
have.
times. I've witnessed it, and I love watching it. It's so beautiful to know that we are creators through the formless, and it becomes form. I've been watching the TV deliberately because I don't want to be numb. We've been in lockdown for a while, and I know that you got to take everything through a lens and then suss through those lenses, those filters, those perceptions, and try to feel into what is really going on here. And so I do the best I can to watch from a very neutral witness consciousness place, but I also want to allow myself to feel, to make sure I'm not muting or numbing my emotion. And then in that, because I want to tap into the consciousness of what's happening on the planet and in the cities and in human homes. I know how to do this from doing...
In human homes.
Human homes,
Yeah.
not subhuman homes.
Not the aliens.
No,
Forget them.
not the alien homes, just the real human homes. You never know. That's a whole other topic.
That's where the outside leg lives.
Don't go there. They don't know what that means. So
Yes, they do.
I've been practicing this for a while because we do these events called energy expansion events, and I really tap into the consciousness of the people who are coming, and I ask to be guided, and I ask to be shown what to share that's most appropriate for them, not being the sage on the stage guru bullshit that other people do. I just want to be like, how may I show up and serve and love and use me, right? Thank you, Wayne Dyer, for that teaching. And so I also, on the flip side of that, know now how to feel into the pain, right? And then clean and in that cleaning and cleansing, what I feel is that I'm a contributor to the rising up of consciousness in all of us. I'm not the one doing it. I'm doing it in me. But I feel like it's truthful because I'm really personalizing it. I'm internalizing it. I want to feel it. This one over here is such an empath. She feels everything, right? And if she's not careful, that can take her down a dark space, right? Mm-hmm. But you've learned how to feel everything and then entrain it into love and light. And so that's something that we do.
Or to not. Yeah, I mean, not go love and light, but
love and light.
Yeah, there's you also have the ability when you're overly sensitive through experience, you know how to be present to something without taking it in.
And my haircut is still getting comments, and I appreciate that. It's growing back. It's coming back quick.
So
everything changes.
So those of you watching live, I'd love to know, like, what does, when you hear Soul on a Mission, what does that feel like to you? What does that mean to you? Do you relate to it? Do you feel that you are soul on a mission? And do you have, could you put into words what that mission is? I also like conversations like, obviously, if you asked me 15 years ago, my answer would use different words, but for me, the core of it would be the same, right? Sometimes I think that's why when couples get together really young, they end up choosing to separate after, like, the kids leave, because their mission when they were 20 is very different than it is when they're 45. And a lot of times they feel that different things are important to them, and they choose to go different ways, which I think is totally fine, because somebody wants to be with that person.
Kim says, Kim Walsh Phillips, you've been online a little bit today. She says, oh, heck to the yes. You are one heck of a soul on a mission right there. Yeah, that's a beautiful feeling, isn't it? To know that you're meant for more, that you're meant for a particular calling, a particular mission. And when that lights up in you, woo, child, check my nails. You're like hot to try.
Don't check my nails.
Don't check her nails. You can check mine. Like, you're so on fire when you're aligned to the mission. I'm always talking about the mission. I wrote myself a mission statement to help me stay on track. And it's working.
Yeah.
So, soul, yes. Mission, beautiful. Sabrina mentioned to me the other day, hey, you know, because I want to make a t-shirt with Soul on a Mission and stuff like that. We want to make lots of t-shirts. And we want to, Kim actually has a link for us that can help us do that. Mm-hmm. We have to remember to use that link. Thank you, Kim. Mm-hmm. Put it on the list, right? But this Soul on a Mission feels like a really beautiful evolution of what it maybe meant to us before. So some of you have probably seen our brand evolve over the years. We used to have a meditator in the center of our logo.
A man.
It was not. It was androgynous, little stick drawing.
I would be very sad if that was a stick figure of me.
I loved it. It was really cool. It was very dojo, very martial arts, qigong, and it's evolved, right? Everything evolves. And then our tagline, it's not a tagline, it's really a statement, a mission: be love, serve love. And for us, that was very much breathe in, fill yourself up with this love, rejuvenate, heal. We went on a healing journey together. Awaken to love, be love. Then what? Breathe out, serve love, share love. It's very yin, it's very yang. It's really, for us, beautiful tagline, if you will, for our business. And in the serving of love, we said, let's do this. Let's go out there and let's really create and share some things that will really help people in human homes.
And part of that is inspiring and fueling for us maybe limitations we had out of fear of never doing it, other people who have wanted to teach and share and offer what they love to others, and start sort of a MLM of sharing love, multi-level marketing. And keep passing that on, because that's when you really make a difference. It's not just one person sharing love, it's one person inspiring X amount to share their message, who then inspire more to share their message, and you can really have an impact. I've been lately doing, and it's probably because of all of the energy that I don't find favorable right now. I see fellow business owners and friends bickering on social media and online, and what I see people saying about each other, and what I hear leaders of the country saying in ways that just don't set right with me. When I find myself not intentionally focused on love, I can feel a lot of anxiety right now. Probably, the whole locked in the house, the COVID, hearing about the economy, hearing things from our students. There's a lot of energy going on. So, you're about to learn some things about me. So,
apparently, I love learning in front of national television about my wife.
So I've been practicing. I seem to be waking up at like 3:30, 4:30, and feeling very awake. And I would get up and go do something, but if I get up, the two dogs get up, and then it's just a whole thing. So I don't. And I have found that what's been really helpful is to, instead of seeing that time as I should be sleeping, this is from like some kind of anxiety and judging myself for not being more at peace in the middle of the night, I'm saying, I'm being woken up to commune with love, to just be present to love. And so I use those times for, I'll say, affirmations that feel very soothing. I love life and life loves me. I always make the right decisions. I always know exactly what to say. I'm guided at the speed of love. I can relax in my faith and know that I'm completely taken care of, because I think anxiety comes from fear of the unknown. And just to remind myself of deep faith, and to know that I will always be taken care of. And that when my faith is in love, is in source, and is in God, everything that needs to be there will be there. And that's been really helpful. And then the past couple of nights, as I'm laying, I kind of turn on my side. And this is hard to explain, but you know how good it feels sometimes when you just have that blanket to pull over your shoulder? It just feels so good. Or maybe there's a person there and they just kind of put their arm around you. I've been feeling like almost like the presence of God, the presence of love, just wombing me, putting its arm around me, and I can feel childlike and really relax and let go in the safety of that faith, in letting go of control, almost like an innocent child would, and knowing that it's taken care of. So sometimes I have to jumpstart that soul on a mission when the mind has come in and gotten me off, or in the middle of the night where I haven't been consciously choosing that positivity that I always choose. That's not bad. use your tools. Use the tools to get back on the mission. Use the tools to get back on a mission. And now I'm finding that if I do wake up at 4:30, I don't even think anything bad. I'm like, oh, it's my time to commune. It's my time to affirm. It's my time to see if I can wash my brain with love. That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been imagining like if the brain was a ball, like a bowling ball, and you could take a cloth and wash the bowling ball with one of those soft Sherpas, that I'm going to just like wash the brain with love. All these different things that you can do that can quickly put you back into alignment so that you are not the victim of it, not the victim of the anger, not the victim of the anxiety.
And as you were sharing all of that beautiful stuff, I was having to kick somebody out of our lovely tribe because they don't belong. They're not of this vibration. They must have been really bored. They wrote some naughty things. So they are gone now. And that's how it is.
Forever and ever.
The law of attraction can also be the law of unattraction. Very simply. Bye. Yep. So staying in this theme of soul on a mission, I actually want to do a shout back out to Kim Walsh-Phillips and thank her for her encouragement and inspiration for us to actually be sitting here right now doing what we're doing. Because she was nudging us to do the Trisbrina Show for quite a while.
Yeah, we were with her and we'd start telling stories and she's like, have you shared that story with anyone? Have you shared that story?
No, we haven't. We don't really have a place to do that. Well, we do it in our private group. She's like, time to go, so she kept nudging the the Trisbrina Show. And then the Connection Tribe was birthed recently and many of you are part of that. And I'm so proud of Sabrina for showing up so beautifully in that community. It's totally free, and she's sharing inspiration. It's about the being. It's about taking care of the body. She's been putting free trainings in there for people. And it's also about business, because be love, serve love for us is really the expansion now of that soul on a mission. Taking care of soul, awakening to love, being the love, and then serving that love. And so we saw so many of you who are teachers, like we are, coaches, like we are. You love healing, like we do. And you also love the entrepreneurial side of doing your work in the world. You understand that in order to do this, I have to learn some business stuff. We call it love-based business. I have to learn how to exchange and make this dance happen so that I can reach more people, that I can serve more people. And so we've gone down that path for decades, and we went completely online at one point. Got a cool story about that coming out in the near future. And as you were probably starting to see, certifying people to teach Qigong, they also need to know how to find students, right? They need to know how to run classes.
They need to know how to teach a workshop. They need to know how to go live. They need to know how to do all the fun things.
All the things that we're using to show up and love. And so Soul on a Mission's expanded for us. And so you're going to see at some point a little channel on this page, just like the Trisbrina Show. It's actually called a playlist. And if you click on the video button, if you happen to be on depends where you're watching this, you might be on our website later, but if you're on our Facebook Satori business page. If
you're on the Facebook.
Then if you ever click on videos, you'll see playlists. And one of them is the Trisbrina Show, and there's a new one coming. It's Sabrina's idea. It's Soul on a Mission. And we're going to be sharing...
with another episode of Soul on a Mission.
We're going to be sharing some of the serve love components to what we do. Does that make sense? So for those of you who are wanting to expand and grow your business, you've got the Connection Tribe with Sabrina, and you'll also have Soul on a Mission here on this public page. Cool? So we just want to...
It's the Soul on a Mission show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you for inviting me to the show. I'm so grateful to be here. You're the interviewer. Here, watch. I'm going to interview Sabrina.
Okay.
So, Sabrina, tell me, how did you get started with acting?
Well, Tristan, I was like about 3 years old, and I was really...
That's so interesting. And after you were 3 and you ended up in New York City, what happened?
Well, I went to Hollywood.
Excellent. And then when you were in Hollywood, was there anything in particular that was just really scary?
I was strangled.
More?
Choked.
This is getting very scary. Actually, those are some real stories that Sabrina survived some really crazy things out in Hollywood.
That was like squirrel. Tune in for the next episode. I
think
survived.
She obviously survived. That's actually, I'd love for you to share about that in the next Trisbrina show.
I do plan to share it.
In the next show or in the future?
I have to tune in and ask alignment.
Makes sense. If you know who Lisa Cherney is, then you'll be able to hear some of that story. You can go to Get Effing Real and listen to some of Sabrina's amazing story. She was interviewed by Lisa, and
what
stuff
episode
that
are you?
I don't know. We were some of the first episodes of that show.
11.
It is really incredible what Sabrina went through and what she survived through. But it's truly, if you hear some of the stories, you'd be like, how did you escape that? And you were just saying it the other day, and I was like, man, your soul was so wise. Mm-hmm. It's soul on a mission stuff, for real.
Yep. I mean, when you think back on things that happened to you, first of all, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't know what I know and feel what I feel if each and every one of those circumstances wasn't on my path. And yet at the time, you could judge that as a really bad thing. And I guess that's why that saying says, it's not the thing, it's what you do with it and how you grow from it. But the way that I was so protected in situations that I should not have survived and completely got away from, completely unharmed, got to retain an innocence, and then the damage psychologically so cleaned from the devotional practices immediately, knowing that whole thing that I was saying earlier about if you can just up your awareness every single moment that you can, you are never alone. You are always the focus of love. You are always in the presence of love. Love always sees you. Love is always with you. And then the only thing is, are you with it? And that sense of faith is so comforting. And people are like, I need confidence. I have to say, maybe you just need God, right? Because when I have that, when I know how loved I am by the universe, when I'm experiencing love and acceptance, think about the way maybe you love your dog, or you love your cat, or you love your child. And then like a million times that about how you are loved, that something is breathing you, something's growing your hair, something is taking care of you all the time. Then there's no room left for, I don't like my nose. I don't like my voice. I hate myself, right? It sort of tosses all that out. And yeah, we can deal with all that. That's just like mental chatter. What do we call it? Head trash, right? But the confidence that you can feel living a life laying in the faith of being a soul on a mission and knowing that that's the only thing that matters. Why do I want more money? So I can do more love. Why do I want more clients? Why do I want to be healthy? Everything I want, when you boil it down, why do I want to be in a relationship is because I want to experience more love. I want to share more love. It all boils down to that. I want to feel happy. I want to feel good. I want to have a good life. And it's so hard for me sometimes. It's like, what's your financial goal? Oh, to be really happy and feel loved. As big as I can. So it's a funny juggle.
It's beautiful. So souls on a beautiful mission. We shall continue this date night. We're going to... are we taking the puppies somewhere?
No.
No? We're not taking the puppies
Puppies are going to be picked up because they're the first to leave the house for a haircut.
Oh.
They're both getting their nails done tomorrow, and baths and grooming and trims.
Well, we so appreciate you guys being part of the conversations that are happening here. And just remember to keep cleaning up the internal emotions and reactions as they come up. Who knows how this thing is going to play out, how all the things are going to play out, because there's so many contrasting elements right now. There's a lot of friction, but just remember that I bet there's many things you can look back in your life that were really tough, really scary. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get through this.
Yep.
And you're on the other side of it now. And for whatever reason now today, because of the timing and the processing of it, you look back and go, kind of what I needed.
Your back injury.
My back injury.
Probably the
what I needed.
most horrible moments of his life, and then what that was the catalyst for both of us to do to survive that time. It was a big gift.
It was grace in disguise.
It was a really big gift. And we've had other things where it's like a partner, a business partner did something that was really
seemed really wrong at the time.
Not cool. It's like, oh my gosh, did you just totally screw us over? Yes, he did. But it was a catalyst to, oh wow, that door I've been walking through, a very lucrative door I've been walking through is now shut. I've got to open a window. And the window that we opened was the internet. Turns out that window leads to a much bigger pool than that door led to.
Yeah, that person's not sitting pretty right now. They're kind of stuck in their situation,
and we're helping them.
We're helping them because you choose to forgive and you choose to love regardless, right? Because that's what a soul on a mission does.
Yep.
All right, sweet friends. Thank you so much for being in this awesome conversation.
And just reminder, we go back and read all the comments that we didn't see, and we so love hearing your thoughts and your words, because that energy, we're feeding each other right now, right? We're eating truth.
We're eating love.
And that's the nourishment that we really need right now.
And here's the theme song.
Don't give up.
Don't.
No.
Don't give up.
Don't give it up.
Don't give up.
No, don't give it up.
That was some folkiness right there. Did you see that? Look, my glasses are coming. Much love, everybody. See you next week. Bye now. That's our screenshot. I can't turn it off.
Don't
Don't turn it off. Okay, bye.